All right, everybody, buckle up because today's deep dive, well, it's a doozy.
Yeah, we're going down a rabbit hole for sure.
It's a case part,
Yeah.
locked room mystery, and part, well, you'll see.
Let's just say truth is stranger than fiction.
Oh, yeah, way stranger. And today's case is going to prove it. So the story we're diving into comes from, I'm not even sure how to describe this document.
I know, right? Just podcast.pdf, that's its title.
Very descriptive, very catchy.
Inside.
Oh, boy.
Pure gold. Not really, more like pure what the. Yeah.
Definitely head scratching, for sure.
So the document, it tells the story of Ronald Opus and his death. Well, it's not a simple story.
Death rarely is.
True, very true. In this case, though, it starts off looking like an open and shut suicide.
Ronald Opus found dead from a shotgun blast to the head.
Jumps from the top of a 10-story building note in his pocket, the whole 9 yards.
Classic suicide.
You'd think, right. Except hold on to your hats, folks, because here comes twist number 1.
Oh, yeah, this case is all about the twists.
Turns out Mr. Opus didn't die from the fall. He was shot midair as he was passing the 9th floor.
Imagine that talk about bad luck.
It does make you wonder, though, right? Who shot him?
Well, that's where the investigation takes another turn, because the shot came from an apartment on that very same 9th floor.
An elderly man was having a heated argument with his wife.
Apparently threatened her with a shotgun.
And boom, fired a shot right through the window.
Now here's where things get even weirder. Neither the old man nor Ronald Opus knew that there was a safety net installed on the 8th floor.
Yeah, meant for window washers.
So if Opus hadn't been shot, he would have survived the fall. Talk about irony.
Layers and layers of it. But legally speaking, this accidental shooting throws a wrench into things.
How so?
Well, the man intended to kill his wife, but he killed Ronald Opus instead.
Right, so does that make it an accident?
Not quite. See, there's this legal concept called transferred intent.
Transferred intent. Okay, lay it on me.
Basically, the intent to harm one person transfers to the unintended victim.
So even though he didn't mean to kill Opus, he's still responsible.
Exactly. And that's why he was charged with murder.
Wow, so we've gone from suicide to accidental shooting to murder, all in the span of like 5 minutes.
And we're not done yet.
There's more.
Oh, yeah, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Hold on tight.
Okay, I'm ready. Hit me with it.
So the investigation digs deeper, and they uncover something even more shocking.
What could be more shocking than all this?
Turns out the old man's son had deliberately loaded the shotgun weeks earlier.
What? Why?
Seems his mother, the old man's wife, had cut him off financially.
So he was hoping his father would accidentally kill her.
That's the theory.
Man, talk about a messed up family drama. This is like Shakespeare on steroids.
Right. And this detail changes everything because now the son's actions, even though he wasn't the one who pulled the trigger, well, they set this whole tragedy in motion.
So now he's responsible for Opus's death.
In a roundabout way, yes.
This is crazy. I mean, talk about a chain reaction.
Yeah.
One bad decision leading to another and another.
And just when you think you've untangled this whole twisted web of events, well, here comes the biggest shocker of them all.
I don't know if my brain can handle any more shockers.
Well, brace yourself, because the son, consumed by guilt over his failed plan and the death of Ronald Opus, decides to end his own life.
So he jumps from the same building.
You guessed it.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that the son, the one who loaded the gun, the one who indirectly caused Opus's death,
Was Ronald Opus himself?
the victim was the perpetrator?
It's mind-blowing, isn't it?
This whole story is like a giant loop of irony and tragedy.
Despite all the twists and turns, the medical examiner ultimately ruled Ronald Opus's death a suicide.
A suicide that he basically orchestrated himself.
It's a strange case for sure.
Strange doesn't even begin to cover it. It's like something out of a Twilight Zone episode.
It really makes you think, though, doesn't it, about the interconnectedness of events, how even the smallest actions can have unforeseen consequences.
Definitely a case of what goes around comes around.
Even if it takes a 10-story fall and a shotgun blast to do it.
So folks, next time you think you've got it all figured out, remember the case of Ronald Opus, because life, well, it's a lot stranger than we could ever imagine.
And sometimes the truth is so bizarre that you couldn't make it up, even if you tried.
That's it for this week's Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us. And remember, keep your shotguns unloaded and your family drama off the rooftops.
And if you ever find yourself feeling overwhelmed by life's twists and turns, just remember Ronald Opus and know that sometimes even the most tangled webs can unravel in the most unexpected ways.
And hey, who knows? Maybe your story will be the next one we deep dive into.
Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the strange and wonderful mysteries of this crazy world we live in.